What's going on, family? Demi Goddess with Evolve coming at you guys with another video today. I hope everyone's feeling amazing out there, drinking your water, exercising, loving on you. Well, welcome back to Evolve, family, where we have daily conversations about real life situations that high vibe beings can face in this modern world. Some of the topics we discuss here are overcoming unique trials and challenges, spirituality, mental health, and healing. If this resonates with you, don't forget to like and subscribe. I appreciate you guys so much. Well, today, family, I want to talk to those of you who you feeling kind of bad. You like, Demi, I had these children, I had this relationship, and the world looking down on me because I never got married. And, I never signed that dotted line, but I got my kids, and the world want to look at me and call me broken. They want to call me a broken family. You're broken. You're broken, right? They use all these derogatory terms to make your vibration low, make you feel bad about yourself, make you hang your head low. You walking around and you like, dang, Demi, the world is saying that I'm not a good person because I didn't do it the perfect way. I didn't do it exactly right. But I'm here to shine some light on this today, okay? Now, I normally don't get into like all the titles and stuff too hard, right? I just do what the creator asked me to do and walk in my purpose. And I'm thankful to be here. But it was revealed to me that I'm a multi-dimensional channeler. So I channel messages from different dimensions. And so my messages may not always resonate with you, but just stay tuned because 9 times out of 10, I'm gonna hit something that resonate with you at some point, right? So I want to talk to those of you who experience this situation, all right? This is a very specific situation that can make you feel real bad because society will try to say that there's something wrong with you, but the Most High showed me something. And I want to share this with you on today. Marriage can actually be used as a trap to high vibers. It can be used to trap you, lock you in a binding contract, right? So, yeah, you had your children, and yes, that's a contract, but it's not so hard to get away from the narcissist if you have children as opposed to if you get married, if you sign that binding contract. See, marriage, I truly believe, is like a business. It's a business of sorts, right? So once you sign that dotted line, that contract, you go into business with that person. It's a lot of the time, like they try to sell us on this fairy tale, like, oh my God, the dress, and you're gonna look so beautiful. And like we idealize this act, this activity called marriage, right? We want the wedding and the gown and all of that for the ladies, and for the guys, maybe it's like you want to feel secure, and be looked upon as a responsible being. But in reality, marriage is used and has been used for a long time to trap high vibe beings, right? It's been used to trap your energy, get you stuck. It's hard to get out, right? Now, if you have children, that's a little different, right? Because now, okay, yeah, we got kids, maybe we break up, but I'm in a place now where I don't look at a broken home as two parents living in two separate places, and y'all both are taking care of your children and managing your relationship with your children just in separate places. I don't see that as broken. I see a broken home as two people in the same house that don't like each other, don't get along, and they fighting like cats and dogs, and the kids got to endure that. That's broken to me because now you breaking your children. You see what I'm saying? So yeah, you got two parents and they married and it looks good to the world, but your children are gonna be broken because they watching fighting and arguing every day. So they gonna grow up thinking that's normal and having all kind of issues. That's broken to me, right? Now you can share your thoughts on this, right? This is just what comes to me, and I share with you because somebody out here feeling bad. They said, Demi, I got these kids and I ain't never get married. You avoided a trap. You avoided a trap. It's going to be so much easier to co-parent with a narcissist than to be married to a narcissist. And now you got to go through the courts. You got to go through paperwork. You got to divide assets. You got to divide stuff. You got to figure out where you're going to live. It's so much to that. You see what I'm saying? It's so much more to getting out of a binding contract, right? As opposed to just co-parenting. You see what I'm saying? And I'm gonna share a story with you. I know a woman, right? And I won't call her name, but I remember real young. I remember young, learning. I just always been a person that just learned. I learned before I go through things, and I always just paid attention, right? And so I was just learning throughout life, picking up stuff. I was picking up what the Creator was putting down by the grace of the Most High. And this woman, man, she was beautiful. I mean, when I say she was beautiful, beautiful, and she went out into the world and she got her education and everything, and she was doing well, and she met this guy. And this guy, you can't tell me he's not a narcissist, because I'm gonna tell you. So she met this guy and they got married and they had a couple of kids, and over the years life went on, and she was doing all right. Everything looked well. They was successful together. They had that perfect image. The perfect image, big beautiful house, perfect kids, all her kids with the same person. It was beautiful looking. It was beautiful looking, right? But let me tell you what happened years later. This lady got up around midlife, and just like narcissists do, they into the shiny object syndrome. So the narcissist started, always probably was cheating, but as she got older, he got more flamboyant with it. He got way more flamboyant with the cheating, right? And so um he ended up cheating on this woman. From what I understand now, as the story goes, he ended up cheating on her with somebody at his job, right? He really liked this woman because she was like half his wife age, and he was all into this woman, right? Because this woman was younger. She was a newer model. You know how the narcs give it up. And so he ended up cheating on her. And I guess over the years, she just got tired of it. I'm tired of this. And so she wanted a divorce. And so they go to the courts, and it's this big knockout, drag out thing because they had these things together and they doing well. So now you got to divide all this up. You got to figure out who get what and how we going to do all of this, right? It was a mess. She ended up going through a breakdown. I'll never forget it. She ended up going through a mental breakdown behind the abuse she took over the years, the working she was doing, the image she was upholding. And then she had this cheater on her hands, right? That was dogging her out, wanted to leave her. So she ended up going through a breakdown. But long story short, they ended up going through the courts, right? And he would not leave that house because they had a real nice house. I mean, like, I think it was like 2 levels. It was like 2 or 3 level house. It was a big, big house. And so he wouldn't leave the house, and it was just in and out of court about who, like, it was like the last thing they needed to figure out is their living arrangement, and so he didn't want to leave the house, and they fought and fought and fought. So tired. And finally, right? Finally, they came to an agreement. And you know what they had to agree to? I never forget this. I was in high school when this happened. When I remember learning this through, just observing it from a distance. Uh, they had came to an agreement that he would live on one floor of the house and she could live on the other floor. Now I want y'all to imagine what this woman going through today. She can't afford to go out and buy a whole nother house. That's just too much for her. And at her age, it don't even make sense. Why would I go get an apartment? I got my house. Everything's good here. But now I got to deal with this demon for the rest of my life. He won't leave. Now I want y'all to think about that for a minute. She got to listen to that in a distance. The person she married, the person she was with all them years, she got to listen to this going on the other end of her house. Right? And he makes it very, he make it terrible, because that's what narcs like to do. They like to make you angry and upset, right? So imagine what this woman going through every day of her life. Every weekend, she got to listen to this man, right? That she thought she was going to spend the rest of her life with, a party on the other side of her house with women. Can you imagine that? Now really think about that. And I'm sure he make it hell for her. So this is what she's living with now, in her older age. But imagine what that must be like. And this is what demons like to do. So now he gets to feed on her energy, right? Her pain, her grief. He's getting off on bringing these women in and, right, being dysfunctional in the house. And she can't say nothing to him because legally, he can be there. And so I say that to say this. You have to know, high viber, how valuable you are. See, that woman that I'm talking about today, she was the gifted one. She was the high viber, but she never found herself. She never woke up to who she was. She was talented. I mean, very talented. I won't go into details because I don't want to give away who it is, but very, very talented person, right? She had gifts. And so this low vibe being, right, didn't have talents and gifts like that. So he wanted to hook into her, and he was able to ride his way all the way to success and have all these great experiences because she was the mastermind. She was the gifted one. She was the talent. So he was able to ride her coattail all the way to success, right? Dogging her out, no more than likely along the way, right? Not treating her the way she should have been treated, but right? When we get caught up in this image stuff, we got to be so careful, right? And so he rode her coattail all the way to success. Big house, great looking life, everything. But she was the mastermind. She was the gifted one. She had the talent. She was the plug. She was the energy source. You understand what I'm saying? So he seen that. He plugged into her real young. So she can use her energy to make them look good, to bring them up. It wasn't him. He was more of a problem than a solution. He was more of a drain on her than adding to her. You see where I'm going with this? And so, know who you are. Don't feel bad on today. If you're feeling bad, I want you to know you avoided a trap. Right? You more than likely avoided a trap because you can function so much better separating yourself from a low viber, a narcissist, if you only have children with them. You got to do some readjusting and stuff, but they can't drain you like that. You know, they can't do that to you. They can't. If you say, okay, this is over with, you just part ways and go your way. And they take their bag or whatever they brought, and you take your stuff and take your stuff and take you through all of these obstacles and keep draining your energy and living on the other side of your house, draining your energy forever. Because that's what they really want to do. They want to get in there and hook in where they can cause you problems for the rest of your life and drain your energy. You see? And so if you find yourself in this place, I just wanted to stop by today and offer some encouragement. Don't feel bad. You avoided a trap. You know, and I'm not saying all marriage is a trap. I'm not saying that if that's what you want out of life, you know, but I think really we need to do that with high vibers and people that are more on our level, right? If that's your goal. And so we just need to be aware of these things, I think, so that way we don't find ourselves keep making the same decision over and over. We got to kind of be on the lookout for these kind of energies because they are definitely on the lookout for you. When they see your good energy, your high vibration, they trying to lock in. You got to understand, they trying to lock in. They ain't trying to be there for a little time. They trying to be there for a long time, but not always in the right way. They trying to stay attached to you like that leechy energy. They want to attach so they can always feed on you. So you got to be careful. You know what I mean? And be aware of these things so we don't keep thinking like, oh, they want to have children out of love. No, they have children out of, necessity. They have children out of wanting to be in your energy forever. This is kind of how they think. So once you understand these things, right, you can stop the situation, the cycle. You can break this vicious cycle of thinking that, right, these beings function based on love. They don't have love, they function based on transaction. And so you got to know that, you know what I mean? So we don't keep creating the same cycle. We could break this cycle and get out of this thing. And when you decide, oh, I want to have more children, you got to really look at, who is this person, right? You want this a high viber? Do they have the same values as me? Things like this. You know what I'm saying? But if you find yourself more sovereign today, my goal is to help you to understand that you probably avoided a trap. I'm gonna say 99.9% chance coming out the 3D, you avoided a trap. You see, because you didn't know who you were more than likely. So I want to encourage you on today to keep moving forward, right? Understand and know that everything is working together for your highest and best good. You only need to know it. Keep vibing high, right? Feel free to drop down in the comment section and share with us, right, your thoughts on this topic on today. Did somebody try to ride your coattail to success? That's the way the low vibers, the narcissists give it up. I'm telling you, they know good vibrations when they see it. They know a high viber when they see you. They can see you. You see what I'm saying? But sometimes we can't see us. So you got to know who you are, family. And that's what I'm here to do. Help you to take your power back from the narcissist, the narcissistic paradigms, low vibrations, family. Keep vibing high, loving on yourself. Okay? I love you guys so very much. Thank you for stopping by. You guys have a high vibe day. If you're new here, join the family. This content is for chosen vessels, empaths, children of the Most High. If you've dealt with narcissistic people, narcissistic abuse, heavy spiritual warfare, this content is for you. Demi is here to encourage you to keep moving forward, inspire you to take your power back and heal the soul, and enlighten you on ways to do that. So if that sounds like you, join the family. We would love to have you here. I love you guys so very much. You guys have a wonderful rest of your day, okay? Bye-bye.